In the military, one of the most asked questions is why. Loyalty, duty, respect, selfless service, honor, integrity, and personal courage. These are the Army values, and part of the reason I enlisted in the Army. Physical training, working hard to become a fit person was also a reason. From the dining facility to the many strenuous obstacle courses that we had to complete, we marched everywhere we went. Treadwell Tower was an obstacle course in which many soldiers faced their biggest fears: height. Combative training followed Treadwell Tower, intense levels of how to protect yourself when attacked. Shortly following our combative training, we marched to a site for seaburn training. Chemical, biological, radiological, and nuclear attacks require special training, which I will learn about later on. For instance, when standing in the woods and you see a table with a hose and a wet substance in an incident zone, that could be anything, not just water. After a simulated training exercise, we went into the gas chamber and took off our masks to see that it actually works. Following our seaburn training, we had to qualify with our rifles. To qualify, we went to a range and practiced beforehand. Breathing and stance really comes into play during the actual test. Private Funk can tell when I was messing up on the indicator computer. When it's time to leave the range, everyone must be a part of the shakedown. This is to ensure that soldiers aren't taking any ammo back to the barracks with them. After getting used to the M16, we got to shoot bigger and better weapons. Standing in line was always the worst, but the weapons made it worth the wait. Loading the weapons properly was essential, considering if you put it in the wrong way, there's a good chance on injuring yourself and others. Shooting these larger weapons can act as a stress reliever for some. Definitely worked for me. Of course, my favorite followed the machine guns. Grenades, grenades, and more grenades. Not many people that I've met can tell you that they've thrown a grenade. There are 7 types that we learned about. The incineration grenade was definitely my favorite. After the pin was pulled, it becomes extremely deadly, the point where you're not allowed to watch it burn. The after effects of this one are pretty intense, corroding a metal Humvee. Throwing live grenades took training first, which the cadre took extremely serious, to the point that they actually got in trouble. However, there were 8 different obstacles in which we had to perform the proper throw to pass that portion. 35 feet is the minimum distance to stay away from your own throw. After throwing the grenade, you must take proper cover so you're not blasted with shrapnel. An instructor watched the practice grenades to make sure that the soldiers were doing everything properly. Live grenades were definitely my favorite. However, they don't make a fire explosion like I expected. Movies were not accurate. After the excitement from throwing grenades, I didn't expect anything else that was going to be near as fun. I was so wrong. We went to another stimulated training exercise. This one was called Liberty City. Before entering the so-called city, we did safety training so that we knew what to do if a soldier was injured during the mission. The city seemed pretty sketchy to me. The mission was to go in and receive sensitive information, which was an informant who was hiding from the insurgents. To be safe, we had a 360 security set up around the buildings. After we saved the informant, we went to a team building obstacle course, which was filled with extremely dangerous but fun obstacles that we had to overcome. The last thing we had to do to graduate basic training was Army crawl. Sounds pretty simple, right? Wrong. We were in full battle rattle and had to low crawl the distance of a football field that was layered with rocks. Along with obstacle courses, a physical fitness test was determined if we graduated. 2 minutes of sit-ups, 2 minutes of push-ups, and finally a 2-mile run. Being away from all your family and friends can seem like a big problem for some weak-minded people. These people probably don't make it far in the process. My family kind of helped me through the process. They rode me once the entire time I was gone, which was a total of 7.5 months. They didn't really show their support with me, but they were really proud when I was finished. Graduation meant several things. Finally leaving the drill sergeants that were always yelling at us. Moving on to the next part of the process. Learning new things as we advanced to AIT, which was Advanced Individual Training. And saying goodbye to a new friends, new family that you made. Even when you say goodbye, some follow you to your next destination, which means you already have some pretty great friends to start your next phase with. These friendships can last for the short time or a lifetime. Thinking back at everything I've gotten to experience and learn, meeting people from all over the states and in other countries, and becoming a better person overall, this is the reason that I wanted to enlist. I am a leader, I am a patriot, I am brave, I am a defender, I am a hero, and I am here for you. We are Americans, and we are soldiers.